Good morning, good afternoon, good night. This is David Pierre, your host of the Bright Sun Podcast. And today I want to talk about how you never know who's talking about you at dinner. Now, what does that mean? That means you never know who's also talking about you, like when you're not there, behind your back. People who meet you, see you, heard about you, whatever, right? Know you exist, and you never know what somebody is saying. And it's usually based off of what they saw, heard, or experienced in some shape or form, or maybe even research if you want to go into that part. The reason why I'm even bringing this up is because I really got a taste for this some time ago recently. Somebody told me that, somebody told me that literally. And I was like, I mean, it was something that I was familiar with, but it's one of those things when you kind of know it, but when it happens, you're like, oh, wow. And yeah, a friend told me that they were talking about me, with their family at dinner. And I was like, oh, you don't typically hear somebody telling you that they're talking about you. At least for me, that's not something that in my experience I've really heard. And the interesting part about that I also realized too was that who knows what could have been talked about, but I know that at least I have more confidence that, and of course they also said that it was talked about, good things were talked about. And that's because their experience with me has been positive. Even if anybody heard something about me, it was positive. And that affected the conversation that they'd have with other people about me. And that really got me thinking about how important integrity and being authentic is. Because let's say if I wasn't being authentic or genuine, and let's say I really lacked integrity, well, that person or anybody talking about me at dinner, that wouldn't be a positive thing. They could have said, or they could have been talking about how much of a liar or how fake my interaction was, or how condescending I came across, or things that, like if you're at a job or you meet some like mean person or rude person, and you tell your homie or you tell your family, you tell friends or whatnot, like, man, there's this person at the store today and they were being so rude. I don't even know why. I didn't do anything wrong. And then boom, that person, little do they know that from their interaction with other people and how they are and how their intentions are and how they're expressing themselves and representing themselves, the other people take note of that. They notice that. And they also can spread that as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind of. You never know who's watching. You never really know, too. And I have another example of that where the other day, another friend's sister, this is when I was at the gym, another friend's sister, I didn't even know was there, right? And at the gym, no warm up, freaking cold, just randomly decided to bench I think it's 315 or something like that on the Smith machine. I just did it once or twice, right? I did that, and me and the friend who I was with over there, hadn't spot me, of course. I was feeling good about it, whatnot. And then my friend texts me the next day or two, oh, I heard you, I heard you did that. And I was like, how'd you know that? Then he tells me his sister was there. She was somewhere in the area and she saw me. And I was like, what the heck? Imagine if I attacked somebody, or imagine if I started yelling or being a whole buffoon, or imagine I was just being rude and stuff like that. Even though I'm thinking, of course, I'm just paying attention to myself and what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about, oh, people are watching me, I must do this, or, I'm not worried about that, but somebody saw, or who knows, more people probably saw. And that really showed that, you just, even if you don't know them, there's a good chance that somebody saw you or sees you, you know, and not only to be careful with how you represent yourself, but to align yourself to where you authentically present yourself in a way that, since you are working on yourself, you know, being a better person or a better friend, better boyfriend, girlfriend, just a better human being, that you don't even need to be careful with how you talk to people, because you just, or how you talk or how you go about things, whatever, because you align yourself in a way to where you're just you and it works, or it tends to work. Of course, some people you're never going to get along with. They're just not for you, or they have their own troubles and problems that, you know, that are going to affect their interaction. So even though you're a good person, you know, it's just not going to go anywhere. But the more you just align yourself with being somebody that is authentically good or righteous or right or whatever, ethical and blah, 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 and friendly, that, yeah, you won't even have to worry about these sorts of things. Because as much as I still have work to do on myself, and my things on that I have going on in life, you know, there's only so much, like, and there's only so much you could really do to mess something up at a certain point. You know, like, I don't curse. I'm relatively calm. I'm friendly. You know, I don't really, like, it takes a lot to get me mad and whatnot. It's just, you know, someone's going to have a hard time having a negative interaction with me, to where I can simply be myself and not have to worry about, like, oh, I hope I wasn't too mean, or I hope they don't like the way I said this, because it's like, the way that I remain is the way that can be, I guess, consumed or experienced by, like, more people or whatnot. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. You let me know. So yeah, do keep in mind that. And I hope that this kind of gets you to realize, or, you know, maybe look back at some things that you might have done in public and you think people haven't seen. Honestly, my advice is, you know, wrapping all this up, is work on yourself to be a person that authentically represents himself in a good manner, that you don't have to worry about being so cautious when it comes to social interactions. You can worry about being cautious more when it comes to, like, danger, or, you know, if you meet freaking psychopaths or manipulators or whatnot, or narcissists, things like that. That, and just be aware of how your actions affect people. Because even though you're not special and I'm not special, our interactions and our actions affect people, whether we like it or not. So just know that also your actions affect people, and know that whether it's bad or good or neutral, I mean, I guess neutral won't do much, but whether it's bad or good, that can affect somebody's day, or that can make somebody's day. And third thing is that, actually, no, I think that's about it. That's kind of the gist of it all. Yeah, so hope you have a good day, good afternoon, good night. This is David Pierre, the Bryson Podcast. David Pierre, the host of the Bryson Podcast. And see you next time. Check out the others.